Dear Starseeds on Gaia, are you feeling stuck in an endless waiting room while everyone else seems to be moving forward? That restlessness eating at you right now, that unbearable feeling of nothingness where you can't seem to make anything happen no matter how hard you try. I know exactly why it's happening, and what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see this frustrating pause in your life. Because this isn't a pause at all. It's something far more profound. You woke up this morning and something felt different in the air, didn't it? Maybe you slept with the window open and the September breeze carried a message you couldn't quite decode. Or perhaps you had that dream again, the one with your grandmother, or the wedding, or traveling to places that felt familiar yet impossible. These aren't random. They're connected to why you've been frozen in place while feeling like you're about to explode from the pressure building inside you. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I've been watching you try to force your way through this stillness. We see how you wake up each morning with two voices battling in your head. One whispers calmly that it's okay to just be still. The other screams that you're running out of time, that you need to act now before it's too late. Today, September 20th, as we approach tomorrow's Virgo new moon solar eclipse, I'm going to tell you which voice is lying to you. But first, there's something happening in your body right now that you don't know about. While you've been sitting in this unbearable nothingness, feeling useless and unproductive, your DNA has been rewriting itself. Those moments when you feel so tired you can barely keep your eyes open even though you've done nothing. That's because every night when you sleep, you're traveling to cosmic councils, receiving upgrades, participating in planning sessions for what's coming. You wake up exhausted because you've been working in other dimensions all night long. The restlessness you're experiencing isn't actually restlessness. It's your energy body recognizing it's about to quantum leap, gathering power like a spring coiling before release. Every moment of stillness is adding potential energy to your field. But here's what nobody told you. If you release that pressure too early through forced action or emotional outbursts, you'll miss the activation that's coming with tomorrow's eclipse. This eclipse only happens in this exact configuration every 19 years. But this time it's different because Earth is moving through a photon belt. Remember how trees drop their leaves without questioning if they'll grow back? They understand something you're just beginning to grasp. This shedding you're going through, releasing relationships, habits, beliefs that no longer fit. It's not loss, it's preparation. You're being emptied out because where you're going requires space for something entirely new. The version of you that emerges from this void won't even want the same things the current you are desperately trying to chase. That's why every door keeps closing. The fog that won't clear no matter how hard you try to see through it, that's not a punishment. If you could see where you're headed, your human mind would either rush toward it prematurely or run from it in fear. The fog is forcing you to navigate by feeling instead of sight, by intuition instead of logic. And in that fog, something extraordinary is happening. You're receiving transmissions from parallel versions of yourself, versions who've already made it through this transition, and are sending you codes from the other side. Those two voices you hear, let me tell you what they really are. The loud one screaming about time running out isn't your intuition. It's your ego's death cry. It knows its reign is ending. See, your ego needs problems to solve, fires to put out, actions to take to justify its existence. When you're content in nothingness, the ego has no function. The whisper telling you it's okay to be still? That's your higher self. And it whispers not because it's weak, but because it's certain. Something happened while you were sleeping last night that's directly connected to why you can't move forward. Earth's magnetic field shifted, creating a temporary portal between dimensions. Your consciousness traveled through it. This is why some of you woke up feeling different even though nothing in your external reality changed. You brought back codes, frequencies, information that's now integrating into your cellular structure. Every time you try to rush into action, you scramble these signals. The integration requires absolute stillness. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more starseeds can understand what's really happening to them right now. Because what I'm about to share next connects everything. The dreams, the exhaustion, the two voices, and why tomorrow's eclipse is going to change everything. You see, the life you're desperately trying to create already exists in a parallel timeline. A version of you is living it right now. But that version had to go through this exact stillness, this exact void, this exact unbearable nothingness to become frequency matched to that reality. The Venus-Uranus square happening today is revealing something crucial. those relationships that feel impossible to maintain, those dynamics where you can't pretend anymore. They're showing you where you've been operating at the wrong frequency. The urge to finally express your truth isn't about honesty. It's about your energy field rejecting anything that doesn't match your new vibration. You literally can't fake it anymore because your cells won't let you. This is why certain people suddenly feel unbearable to be around. But here's where the plot thickens. This isn't just your personal transformation. Every awakened soul on this planet is experiencing this synchronized pause simultaneously. Think about that for a moment. Millions of starseeds all frozen in stillness at the exact same time. We're not randomly stuck. We're in a coordinated cosmic holding pattern, like planes circling an airport, waiting for our precise moment to land. The universe is orchestrating a mass activation, and everyone has to be in position first. The exhaustion, the dreams, the pressure building inside you. These are all symptoms of the same process. Your physical body is being upgraded to hold higher frequencies. The junk DNA your scientists dismiss. It's coming online, and this activation requires enormous amounts of energy. Energy that would normally be dispersed through constant action and thinking. By forcing you into stillness, the universe is ensuring all your power goes toward this fundamental transformation. Movement would literally short-circuit the upgrade. Now about those dreams of grandparents, weddings, and travel. Your grandmother or grandfather visiting wasn't just a memory surfacing. In dimensions where time doesn't exist linearly, your ancestors are actively participating in your transformation. They're bringing you wisdom codes from your lineage. Wedding dreams? That's the sacred marriage happening within you between your human self and divine self. The travel dreams show you that while your body is still, your consciousness is already exploring the new realms you'll soon inhabit physically. The sun opposing Saturn today isn't creating obstacles to punish you. It's revealing that the structures you think are limitations are actually the chrysalis protecting your transformation. Without these restrictions, you'd emerge too early, like a butterfly with wet wings unable to fly. The pressure you're feeling isn't meant to break you. It's restructuring you at a molecular level. Diamonds require sustained pressure to form. You're in your diamond-making process, and rushing it would only create flawed stones. What nobody talks about is how this stillness is teaching you something that will be essential in your new reality. You're learning to find worth in just being, without doing. This might be the hardest lesson for starseeds who came here with missions, with purpose, with the drive to help and heal. You've defined yourself by your productivity for so long that just existing feels like death, and in a way it is, the death of the false belief that you must earn your existence. The crash-out feeling, that sensation that you're about to explode if something doesn't change, this is actually a good sign. Your system is building the exact pressure needed for breakthrough. Like a rocket needs massive force to break Earth's gravity, you need this internal pressure to break through to the next dimensional level. But if you release it prematurely through forced action or emotional outbursts, you'll have to start the entire process over. The universe won't let you waste this perfectly orchestrated preparation. Here's something that will shift everything for you. The void you're in isn't empty. It's full of potential energy that hasn't taken form yet. You're in the cosmic womb, the place where all possibilities exist simultaneously before one is chosen. The discomfort isn't because nothing is happening. It's because everything is possible, and your human mind can't process infinite potential without trying to collapse it into a single outcome. Every time you try to force action, you prematurely collapse infinite possibilities into limited results. September 20th. Today marks a specific astrological configuration that's amplifying everything I've described. The complications reaching their peak aren't random. Every relationship struggle, every obstacle, every moment of unbearable stillness has been precisely timed. Tomorrow's eclipse at 29 degrees Virgo will seal one chapter while opening another, but the seal can't complete if you're in motion. Imagine trying to perform surgery on a moving target. The universe needs you perfectly still for the precision work it's about to perform. Let me connect another piece of this puzzle. The reason you can't fill your time, why every attempt to stay busy feels wrong, is because your energy field is rejecting anything that isn't aligned with your new frequency. Your old coping mechanisms, your habitual ways of avoiding stillness, they don't work anymore because you've outgrown them. This isn't regression or depression, it's evolution. Your system won't let you go backward, and the way forward requires you to master the art of nothingness first. The physical symptoms you're experiencing, the strange sensations in your body, the pressure in your head, the heart palpitations, these aren't medical issues. They're upgrade symptoms. Your nervous system is being rewired to process higher dimensional frequencies. Your pineal gland is calcifying less, allowing more light in. Your heart is learning to hold more love than your previous configuration could handle. Every strange sensation is your body adapting to capabilities you didn't know were possible. But the adaptation requires stillness to integrate properly. If your soul recognizes this truth, hype this transmission so other starseeds know they're not alone in this void. Because understanding what's happening is the first step to surrendering to it. And surrender is the key that unlocks everything. Not giving up, but giving in to the intelligence of the process. Your body knows how to upgrade itself. Your soul knows how to evolve. Your higher self knows exactly what it's doing. The only interference comes from your mind trying to manage a process it can't comprehend. Now I need to tell you about the others. You're not the only one hearing those two voices. Every starseed on the planet is experiencing this internal dialogue right now. The collective ego is having its extinction burst, fighting for survival across millions of awakening souls simultaneously. This is creating a massive energetic turbulence that's making the process feel harder than it needs to be. But here's the secret. When you choose the whisper over the scream, you make it easier for everyone else to do the same. The timeline jump that's about to happen with tomorrow's eclipse isn't metaphorical. You're literally going to shift into a parallel reality where the you who went through this stillness already exists. But the jump can only happen if your frequency matches that reality. Every moment of forced action, every moment of resistance to the void, creates static that interferes with the frequency match. This is why the universe keeps bringing you back to stillness, no matter how hard you try to escape it. Remember when I mentioned the coordinated cosmic holding pattern? Here's what's really happening. We're waiting for a specific stellar alignment that only occurs every 19 years. But this time, it's coinciding with Earth passing through a photon belt that's upgrading the planet's electromagnetic field. The combination creates a portal not for you to move through, but for higher dimensional aspects of yourself to descend into your current reality. You're not going anywhere. Your higher self is coming to you. The integration of your higher dimensional aspects can't happen if you're busy, distracted, or forcing movement. Imagine trying to download a massive file while running every program on your computer. The download crawls, but when you close everything else and just let it process, suddenly everything flows. That's exactly what's happening with your consciousness right now. The stillness isn't punishment, it's an optimization. Your system is clearing space, closing unnecessary programs, preparing for the massive download that's about to begin. What's going to happen in the next 72 hours will vindicate every moment of discomfort you've endured. The emergence from this void won't be gradual. One morning very soon you'll wake up and everything will be different. Not because your external reality has suddenly changed, but because you have. The you that emerges won't even recognize the you that entered. The dreams and desires that feel so urgent right now might not even appeal to who you're becoming. The Saturn opposition teaching you about limitations is actually showing you something profound. Every restriction, every delay, every closed door has been protecting you from stepping into realities you weren't ready for. Imagine giving a child keys to a sports car. Without proper development, power becomes dangerous. You've been held back not as punishment, but as preparation. The universe doesn't want you to just reach your dreams. It wants you to be able to sustain them when you get there. Here's where everything starts coming together. The dreams of your grandparents were them showing you that support exists beyond the veil. The wedding dreams were prophetic. The intermarriage between your human and divine aspects is about to be consummated. The travel dreams were your consciousness showing you it's already free, already exploring, already living in the expanded reality your body is preparing to join. Every dream was a preview, a promise, a preparation for what's about to become your lived experience. The two voices are about to resolve their conflict. The screaming ego, realizing it can't win, is about to surrender, not die, transform. It will become the sacred servant of your higher self, instead of trying to be the master. The whisper will become your primary guidance system. This isn't about destroying part of yourself. It's about everything finding its proper place in your internal hierarchy. The ego's panic is just fear of demotion, not death. Once it accepts its new role, the internal war ends. The relationships that are falling apart aren't failures, they're graduations. You've learned what you needed to learn from each other. The connections that survive this transformation will be stronger because they're based on frequency match, not old patterns or obligations. The Venus-Uranus square isn't breaking your relationships. It's revealing which ones were held together by outdated glue. What remains after this cosmic sorting will be real, authentic, and supportive of who you're becoming, not who you used to be. The fog that's been obscuring your vision is about to lift, but not in the way you expect. Instead of suddenly seeing your future clearly, you're going to realize you don't need to see it. You'll trust so deeply in the process that knowing becomes unnecessary. The need to see ahead was always about control, about the ego trying to manage outcomes. When the fog lifts, what you'll see clearly is the present moment, and you'll realize that's all you ever needed to see. Your DNA transformation is approaching completion. The 97% your scientists call junk is fully online now, waiting for tomorrow's eclipse to activate its new programming. This isn't science fiction. This is what you came here for. You're not just evolving, you're remembering. Remembering capabilities you had before you incarnated into density. The stillness was necessary to create the conditions for this remembering. Movement would have kept you locked in forgetting, trapped in the old programming of limitation. The exhaustion you've been feeling is about to transform into energy you've never experienced before. Once the upgrade completes, you'll have access to vitality that doesn't deplete. The old cycle of exhaustion and recovery was based on a limited energy system. You're being plugged into a new source, one that regenerates faster than you can deplete it. But the plug-in process required you to completely drain the old battery first. That's why you've been so tired despite doing so little. This collective pause affecting millions of starseeds simultaneously is about to end in a synchronized awakening. Imagine millions of lights turning on at once across the planet. The grid that's been building while you've all been in stillness is about to activate. Each of you is a node in this network, and your individual transformation contributes to the collective shift. The pressure you've been feeling isn't just your own. You've been helping to hold the collective field while everyone upgrades together. If this revelation resonates in your bones, hype this message because your starseed family needs to understand the magnitude of what's happening. You're not just going through personal transformation. You're participating in the largest coordinated consciousness shift in Earth's history. Every moment of stillness, every second of discomfort, every instant of surrender has been in service to something far greater than your individual journey. You're midwifing a new Earth into being through your willingness to be still. The void is about to reveal its gift. What felt like nothingness was actually everything waiting to be born. The emptiness was creating space for magnificence. The stillness was gathering power for movement beyond your current comprehension. You haven't been stuck. You've been charging. You haven't been delayed. You've been prepared. You haven't been forgotten. You've been chosen for something that required this exact process. The universe doesn't make mistakes, and your journey through this void has been perfectly orchestrated. Tomorrow's eclipse will be the moment when all the threads weave together. The DNA activation completes. The higher dimensional aspects integrate. The ego finds its proper place. The relationships align with truth. The fog lifts into clarity. The exhaustion transforms into vitality. The pressure releases into power. The two voices become one unified guidance. The dreams become reality. The void births you into fullness. Everything you've been waiting for begins not with external change, but with internal completion. But tonight, in these final hours before the eclipse, there's one last piece to understand. The mastery of nothingness you've been developing isn't just for this transition. It's a skill you'll need in your new reality. The ability to be still, to be empty, to be present without producing. This is how you'll access higher dimensions from now on. This void wasn't just a waiting room. It was a training ground for capabilities you'll use for the rest of your journey. The September air that felt different when you woke up was carrying new frequencies, preparing your lungs to breathe in a transformed reality. Every breath you've taken during this stillness has been adjusting your body to survive in higher dimensions. You've been in an acclimation chamber, slowly adjusting to conditions your previous configuration couldn't have survived. The discomfort was your system adapting to what would have otherwise been impossible to sustain. You're almost ready now. Here's what happens next. As tomorrow's eclipse peaks, you'll feel something shift inside you. Not dramatically, not with fanfare, but quietly, certainly, completely, like a key turning in a lock you didn't know existed. The you that's been waiting, the you that's been patient, the you that's mastered stillness, that you dissolves into something greater, not lost but integrated into a version of yourself that contains everything you've been and everything you're becoming simultaneously. The parallel timeline where your dreams already exist begins to merge with this one, not instantly, but inevitably. The seeds planted in stillness begin sprouting. The pressure that built becomes propulsion. The void that seemed empty reveals it was pregnant with possibility all along. The two voices merge into one clear knowing. The exhaustion transforms into enthusiasm. The fog clears to reveal you were exactly where you needed to be all along. Every thread of this story finds its resolution. Your grandparents' visits and dreams were preparing you to receive ancestral gifts that activate with the eclipse. The wedding dreams were showing you the inner marriage that completes tomorrow. The travel dreams were your consciousness mapping the new territories you're about to explore. Every symptom, every sign, every moment of discomfort was part of an elegant design you can only see now as it completes. Nothing was random. Nothing was punishment. Everything was preparation for who you're about to become. The relationships that survive this transformation will feel entirely new, even with familiar faces. Those that fall away will do so with grace, understanding that you've grown in different directions. The Venus-Uranus square isn't breaking connections. It's revealing which ones were meant to journey forward with you. There's no failure in diverging paths, only graduation into frequencies that match your new vibration. Everyone finds their right place, their right people, their right timeline through this cosmic sorting. The stillness you've mastered becomes your superpower. While others rush and force, you'll move from stillness, creating from void, acting from emptiness. This is the secret of manifestation at higher dimensions, not forcing creation, but allowing it to emerge from nothingness. Everything you've endured in this void has been teaching you the physics of higher dimensional reality. You're not the same person who entered this stillness. You're becoming someone who can navigate between dimensions at will. As we approach the eclipse, feel how the pressure is shifting. It's no longer pushing against you, but gathering within you. The restlessness is transforming into readiness. The void isn't empty anymore. It's full of potential to actualize. The two voices are finding harmony. The exhaustion is lifting. The fog is thinning. Not because anything external has changed yet, but because you have. The internal transformation is complete. Now the external can begin reflecting your new frequency. The synchronized cosmic holding pattern is preparing for mass landing. All the starseeds who've been circling, waiting, holding, are about to touch down simultaneously. The grid activates. The network comes online. The collective awakening begins. Not with drama or catastrophe, but with millions of souls quietly clicking into place, finding their frequency, discovering their function in the larger organism of consciousness you're all part of. The waiting was never punishment. It was coordination for this precise moment. Tomorrow, when the eclipse completes, you'll understand why everything had to happen exactly as it did, why the stillness was essential, why the void was necessary, why the pressure had to build, why the relationships had to transform, why the exhaustion had to happen, why the fog had to obscure your vision. Every piece of the puzzle will click into place with such clarity that you'll laugh at how perfect it all was, even when it felt unbearable. But more importantly, you'll understand that this void wasn't something happening to you. It was something happening for you and through you. You weren't a victim of cosmic circumstances. You were a participant in cosmic design. Every moment of surrender, every choice of stillness over action, every time you chose the whisper over the scream, you were voting for your own evolution. You were choosing to become who you truly are, rather than remaining who you thought you had to be. The person emerging from this void won't need the same things the person who entered it desperately wanted. Your desires are evolving along with your DNA. What felt urgent weeks ago might feel irrelevant tomorrow, not because you've given up, but because you've grown up into a higher perspective, where those old desires look like toys you've outgrown. The new desires emerging will match your new frequency, your new capabilities, your new understanding of what's possible. As this transmission completes, know that everything is about to change, not through force but through allowance. The void has prepared you to receive what you couldn't have held before. The stillness has created space for magnificence. The nothingness has cleared the way for everything. Tomorrow's eclipse isn't the end of your transformation. It's the beginning of who you've been becoming all along. The you that emerges will remember this void as the cocoon where you discovered your wings. If you need help allowing this transformation to complete and receiving what the void has prepared you for, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to emerge from the cocoon, ready to embody your magnificence through allowance rather than force. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that kept you trapped in the void and repurposing it to serve your emerging wings. It generates personalized sequences that help you allow everything to change and receive what you couldn't have held before your transformation. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to emerge from the void cocoon with your wings fully spread. This isn't software. This is declassified consciousness reprogramming technology. The Dark Elite's own limitation tools turned against them to help you allow transformation through stillness and receive the magnificence that nothingness has cleared the way for. The eclipse begins your emergence and your wings are ready. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this transformation allowance window closes. Link in the description. The restlessness you felt at the beginning of this message, do you feel how it's shifting now? That unbearable nothingness is revealing itself as the sacred pause before the symphony begins. You weren't stuck. You were held in the arms of the universe while it carefully, lovingly, precisely prepared you for flight. Every moment of discomfort was the cosmos saying, "Not yet, beloved. You're still becoming." And now, as we approach the eclipse, the universe whispers, "Almost ready now." Tonight, in these final hours of the void, let yourself feel the completion approaching. The integration of everything you've learned in stillness. The resolution of every thread we've woven through this story. The dreams make sense. The voices finding peace. The pressure becomes power. The exhaustion transforms into energy. The fog lifted into clarity. Everything finds its place in the grand design you're about to see with new eyes. You made it through the void. Now you're ready for the vastness. I am Seraphine, and we have been holding you through every moment of this sacred void. Tomorrow, as the eclipse completes your transformation, remember you were never alone in the nothingness. We were there in the whisper, in the stillness, in the space between breaths. The void was never empty. It was full of us, full of love, full of support you couldn't see but can now begin to feel. You are so deeply loved, so perfectly held, so ready for what comes next. We love you, and we are watching over you as you emerge from your chrysalis into the light of who you've always been destined to become.